Student loans debt.
Okay.
Student loans debt.
They try to-
Everything debt. Like
Everything debt.
when you go before, like when you're trying to buy a house, for instance, when I bought my house, I had $81,000 in student loans. Okay.
Yeah.
They looked at the $81,000 and I was like, so it's like, oh, we'll approve you for $180,000. I was like, I
You
make
can't
all
get
this money. What I'm gonna get with that?
Your house ain't nothing nowhere near that.
But what I ended up doing, and people don't know this, so I'm gonna give y'all this little tidbit. So if you're trying to purchase a home and you have student loans, you have to bring those student loans, if they're in deferment, you have to bring them out of deferment and put them in repayment.
Yo. If you alive, subscribe. Man, I came up with that name, If You Alive, Subscribe. I was over a friend of mine's house, and he said, Pete, you gotta make up something, you know what I'm saying, for your show, and you gotta make up something to get the people engaged. And I just said, if you alive, subscribe. He was like, you got it. So, I want to shout out to all the people that's been following me. I want to shout out to all the people that's been watching my channel. I want to shout out to all the people that's just been supporting me. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody always say, your own city don't support you. Well, mine have. Nashville, they have supported me. And I always tell people, my show is just not about like entertainment and artists and all this. My show is more about trying to uplift people and getting people the information that they need to take it to the next level. And my guest today, we have known each other since we were kids. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a saying to say, young, dumb, and full of cum. Yeah, we was both like that. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
We was both like that. And she shifted. I want to shout out to her brother Calvin. We call him Big Head Calvin. He died some years ago, and you keep him on your neck.
Every
And
day.
he's just he inspired me. He was funny. He was real. And you're the only girl, right?
No, I have an older sister too, but I'm the baby.
She's the baby, and they always just protected her from us. Cause we was after her. You know what I'm saying? So they all
didn't play.
protected us. So I got a special guest today. And Cassie, what's going on?
I'm here. I'm so proud of you. You know, and like you said, we've been from the mud up. And it's so amazing. I'm so proud to see, you know, what you're doing and how you bringing the city together.
Facts.
And just showing love for everybody. So I'm so excited to be here.
What's that trap mom? You know what I'm saying? I like that. What does that mean to you?
You know, so Trap Mom has a lot of different meanings. It stands for teaching, reaching, and properly preparing my offspring's mentality.
Oh wow.
So it stands for me being the single mom that I am and elevating my children in a different way.
Facts.
You know, I didn't want them to have to go through the things I went through as an adult. So I've been training them from kids to now that they're all adults. They know which way to go. So
And to be honest, just to be real, our parents didn't teach us that, right?
right, no.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not that they didn't want to.
Right.
They just didn't know.
They didn't know.
And so that's my big inspiration coming from you is you done took it to another level
Right.
to where like first of all, before I even knew what you was doing, Cecil's my guy.
Yeah, okay.
Cecil Raw. And we was all in a we do our thing once a month where we go out and eat and stuff. And everybody was talking about business. And he said, y'all need to holler Cassie. You know what I'm saying? He said, man,
I love him,
she
yeah.
got me, she got my business together on the stuff I need as in grants or loans and all that. And he really respects you for that. So I want to start off with a game.
Let me get comfortable. Let me get comfortable.
I like to warm it up. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm here for it.
This game is called Pick a Side.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
And this is it can be a scenario, it can be anything.
Okay.
But this is called Pick a Side. So if you're dating this man for the rest of your life, and you gotta pick one.
Okay.
Kodak Black or Soulja Boy?
I gotta pick one?
Yeah, you got to.
Oh.
You got to.
Oh.
You're dating him for the rest of your life.
Oh. I don't.
Okay.
I guess if I had to pick, I would say Kodak Black.
That's what's up. That was I gave her an easy one.
I
And
say,
it might was a little hard, but these one.
yeah, that was a little bit easier.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you another one. If you're turning up and these two women are in town,
Okay.
and you have to go to, you got to pick one party, and they both calling for you.
Okay.
You going to Beyonce or Riri?
Oh, I would say I would go to probably Riri.
Okay, why?
Because
Over Beyonce.
Riri, I would go to Riri over Beyonce because to me, Riri is more versatile. It's
Okay.
not just about the music. She
Yeah.
has Fenty. She has this. She is one of the richest women in the world.
Okay.
You know, even over Beyonce. So I probably would hang out with her.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. I got one more for you.
Okay.
I'm just, and this is just to
Okay.
warm my
Okay.
people up. You know
I
what I'm
like
saying?
a
Get you
warm up.
warm.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I got one more. We're gonna go back to dating. If you're dating this person for the rest of your life, and you want to kind of be happy with them,
Okay.
Kwani Cash or Young Buck?
Oh, Kwani.
Ooh,
I represent what? I represent. Oh, you know, we from the bottom. You know, we from the bottom. You know, I'm from the bottom. That's what. But that was where I started out. You know, so of course I'm gonna represent Kwani.
And we know you married and everything, Kwani. But
Right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that choice. Either one of them would have
Yeah.
been cool.
No disrespect to Buck, but I'm just saying, Kwani. You know, we, you know, back from, from the bottom. So you know, I got to represent for that too.
Okay. And it's so much I want to get to today, but I want to start off with this book.
Okay.
Bomb Ass Business Credit Workbook.
Yes.
If you don't got this, I want you to get it. I haven't read it yet, but I know it's plenty of nuggets in it. What made you write this book, and what is this book about?
So the reason I wrote the book was, one, because there are so many people so many business owners that I come into contact with, even now, they don't have business credit.
Okay.
Businesses that have been in business for years. I met one girl, she's been in business for 17 years, but doesn't have business credit.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, like, I've only been in my business now, my brick and mortar, for a little over 2 years.
Okay.
And I have hundreds of thousands in business credit. So I'm looking at that like, why do you not have business credit?
Wow.
So I want to start educating more people, especially in our generation, on business credit and why it's important. We're using other people's money. It's a tax write-off.
Okay.
Like, so I want them to understand that. The reason I wrote the book was because I wanted it to be affordable for everybody.
Facts.
So for people who can't afford to retain me to do the program for them,
Okay.
they can get the book.
They can get the book
and do it on their own. You know, so you're still going to get the same information in the book, but you're going to have to do it on your own.
So what are they getting? And I want you to explain this. What are they getting personal from you that they're not getting the book? What would you want them to? Because me, I would want it personally.
Right.
So what would you? Would you want them to get it personally, or would you want them to get the book? Just be honest.
For me, I would want them to do it personally.
Okay.
When I do it personally, I'm actually setting up the business credit for them.
Okay.
So they're not having to do anything. For 6 months, I build the business credit for them. We communicate every month and beyond. So when it comes to grants and things that I get now, you're going to still get things even after the 6 months.
What's the difference from grants and loans?
Grants, you don't pay back.
Okay.
Grants is money that you don't pay back.
Okay.
That's just money that you utilize to get property. You want to buy a new car. You want to do all these things. So that's what the grants are for.
Okay. And what about the loans? Like how do that work? Because everybody don't know how this stuff works.
Right. So the purpose of business credit is to get loans. Let me tell you first.
Okay.
You're going to get business credit under your EIN. So which means it's not affecting your personal credit.
Okay.
So that's the benefit of business credit. So for people who want to buy houses or people who don't want to have their debt to income ratio affected, use your business credit. So those loans are totally separate from your personal loans. They're in your business name. Don't default on them, but if you default, they're in your business name. So it separates you as a person from your business as a business.
Oh wow, that's good. So what about the people that they're kind of nervous? Okay, I want to go here. Let's go here real quick. Let's go here. What about the person that has started a business? Because you got a lot of people that start business that they don't have no credit.
Right.
They just start a business. Whether they start, if they want to build their business credit.
So even if they don't have any personal credit, it's okay. because we're building it with your EIN.
Okay.
But the beauty of my program where I'm doing it personally for you is that I build your business and I work with you on your personal credit as well. So it works parallel. So by the time your 6 months is up, your personal credit should be at a level where you can get whatever you want.
Wow.
And not have to worry about it. So if they say we need to hit your personal credit, guess what? Your personal credit is already good enough to be able to qualify for whatever you need. But that's with you working with me. The book is not going to give you that, but the book will tell you what you need to do.
Okay. What about the people? I hear this a lot. They talk about the red states, and then we're in Nashville, Tennessee. They talk about the red states, and then they talk about the blue states like Atlanta. You know,
Right.
Atlanta is and we're talking about credit for everybody,
For everybody.
not the certain genre,
Right.
but for black men,
Yeah.
they're having a hard time getting this stuff.
Yeah.
In Nashville.
Yeah.
Is it because they don't know what they're doing, or is it because they can't get it?
I would say that it's because they don't know what they're doing, because business credit doesn't know a race. It doesn't
Okay.
know a color. It doesn't know, male or female. It knows business. It knows it's the structure. What I see a lot of times that a lot of people don't have their business properly structured from the beginning, so that causes issues with them getting business credit. It can be something as tedious as the address. It could be something like the phone number. They're using a personal phone number instead of using a separate business number.
Just little stuff like that.
Little stuff like that can prevent you, because when they call, you're like, hello, and they like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a business. Who's answering the phone saying hello? So it's those small things like that that I want us to understand. It starts with your structure first.
Okay.
Like if I Google your business, I should not see your name.
You should just see straight business.
It should see the business, because that means that you're part of the business now. If I can Google your business and see your name, or go to the Secretary of State and see your name, that means that you didn't set your business up right.
Okay.
So, yeah. And we do that too. So I'll audit your business too.
So at the end of the day, if I set up a business and it's not set up right, you will come in and restructure it.
Yep.
So what if I just kind of set up the business and then I come to you and I need a loan? What's that process?
So if you already set up your business, you come to me, you need a loan. The first thing we would do is a consultation. With that consultation, we'll look at your business credit score, see where you stand. A lot of people feel like if I just have a business credit score, then I can get a loan, but that's not how it works.
Okay.
You actually have to have multiple accounts in order to get a score, and for them to see. If you have 2 accounts and you have a score, they're like, you only have 2 accounts. You don't have the history or the longevity for us to give you $10,000
exactly.
or $100,000. But if you have 8 accounts, they're like, okay, you pay these 8 accounts on time. Let's give you this money. So yeah,
okay, that's good.
Business credit is not it's based on your it's not based on like how personal credit is based on like your utilization and stuff. It's based on how you pay your bills. Business credit has to be paid on time or before. You can't be a day late with business credit.
So, cause another thing, this is something we always heard. We always heard credit union, bank.
Right.
What's the difference?
So for me, I feel like the banks are amazing. Credit unions are amazing. Credit unions normally will give you better rates. When it comes to business, banks are going to probably be better. I use Navy Federal for my business, but they're not really a business bank. When it comes to business banking, you're going to go with Wells Fargo, you're going to go with Truist, or you're going to go with Bank of America. Those are the 3 banks that are going to give you the best products for a small business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, and so, yeah. And that's what I was talking about. Like, well, Regions don't give me no money.
No.
And all this and that. And is it a certain bank? I'm saying for me, is it a certain bank if I wanted to start my account? What's the banks which you would go with?
So for me, I just recently opened a new account with Bank of America.
Okay.
They have great products. Again, when you're dealing with the banks, however, you can't just go on with your business credit and say, I want money. Most banks are going to require you to personally guarantee it. So they're going to require your credit score to be at least a 680 before you can get anything from them.
That's the next thing I was going to, like, credit. If a person, like I said, because you got a lot of people, they never had, you got people getting out of prison, but they getting out of prison with a good mindset and they know how to get out here and get the money. So if a person is coming with you and they credit is 500, but they got their business running, what do they need to do? But that's their personal credit.
Right.
So do they need to, how do you actually build business credit?
Okay, so that's a good question. So if you come to me and you have a 500 credit score and you want to build business credit with me, if you're in my program, what I'm going to do is look at what you have on the personal side. I take it as far as on the personal side, if you need help with your credit, I'm going to get you secured cards. I'm going to get you different lines of credits to build that actual score up. Once we get to a certain point, I'll even add you to my credit cards because what happens is now I'm a trade line for you. So with
Yes.
you being on my credit cards that have high limits and I've had for a while, that's gonna boost your personal score up.
Okay.
So different things like that. Like it's more than just business credit and credit with me. Like we build a friendship, we build a bond. Anybody I work with will tell you, like we locked in.
Yeah,
It's like you can call me. We're going to talk about what your ideas are, what you want to do, and then we'll kind of go from there. So, yeah, I'm going to get you all the way there. So, if you come with 500, you're going to have that 680 by the end of that 6 months.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm glad when you brought that up. So how does that work when I get on your credit card? Like just because you already got your credit good, and then you put me up under you.
Right.
How does that work? What if I don't keep up on my end of the deal and I just jack it off? Does that affect you?
Well, you won't actually get a card. That's the thing.
Okay.
You won't actually get the card.
Okay.
So basically what happens is when I add you on as an authorized user for like 2 or 3 months, what happens is you now acquire my credit, my past credit for that card. So if I've had that card for 10 years, now it looks like you've had that card for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
If I have a $25,000 limit, now you have a $25,000 limit.
So what you mean you don't actually get a card? So how do I spend that money?
You don't spend anything. That's the game plan. You don't spend anything.
Oh,
This
okay.
is just
So
this
you
is to
just
get
own the
you.
card.
You just own the card to get your score up. But once your score raises, because of course it takes about 30 days for them to actually report. Once it reports, your score is going to go up. Then you can apply for your own $25,000 card. So that's how it works. While you're an authorized user, you get your credit card in your name because they don't know that you just got added to this card. All they see is now you have a $25,000 limit on a card that's on your credit report.
Okay, and look, I always talk about people about education and getting educated on everything they do. So how did you get to where you are? Like, how did you get educated on this? Because, like I said, I know people personally
Yeah.
that you have really helped that hold
Yeah.
you to a high standard. So how did you get there?
Oh, let me take some of my water.
How many losses how many
Y'all-
pain that you had to take to get there?
Y'all don't even understand. Like when I opened my brick and mortar, I basically pay for everything cash. I didn't know about business credit.
Nobody does.
Right. This was just a little over 2 years ago. So I'm working, I'm saving, I'm buying stuff, putting it in storage until I was able to actually get a location. So once I got into my location, now that I'm a business owner, now my mentality changes.
Okay.
So now I'm starting to listen to people who are business owners. I'm meeting people who are business owners and we're talking about different things and business credit came up. So first thing I do was what? Google it. I go on Google, then I started going to YouTube. I'm watching YouTubes, then I'm going to TikTok, I'm going to Instagram. But everybody gives you just enough for you to fuck up, basically, just enough.
Or just enough so you can contact them.
Enough to contact them. So I'm very intelligent. So I'm like, okay, I don't have to contact nobody. I'm about to do this. So what I ended up doing was I took so many losses because I'm trying to do a shortcut. I'm trying to do it this way. I'm trying to do it that way. And I wasn't following. I'm following so many people.
Yeah. That you don't know. That's the thing. That's the next thing I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And I'm glad and I'm that you go. I'm glad you stopped there. But how do you know who to follow on that? Because we're following so many people on Instagram and stuff, and everybody's so excited. So how do you kind of know who to follow to trust?
So for me, I think the thing for me, I think now is the biggest thing for me is I want to follow people who are organically genuine.
Yes.
A lot of people that we follow on social media are people who are married, they come on here and talk about, I struggled and I this, but your husband right beside you. Or, or I this, I that. No, you didn't get it out the mud. Like I got it out the mud. So which means that my story is a genuine story.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have anybody teaching me this. I actually had to learn this stuff by trial and error. So once I learned it by trial and error, now I can take what I've learned and teach other people. So that's how I learned. It was a lot of people I shouldn't have probably followed. A lot of people I listened to that I probably shouldn't have listened to because I kept making mistakes. I lost so much money. I was like, okay, it was so confusing at the beginning because I didn't know. And then I have people all the time to say, oh, well, it's easy to get business credit. It's not easy anybody can do it.
Get it, yeah.
But it takes the time and it's a tedious process. So that's where the problem comes in. A lot of people don't have the time to make sure this is paid on this particular day and this is paid on that particular day. So
Okay. And so even with the business credit, now we're going into cars and houses and stuff like that. And everybody goes, well, I get a car on my business credit. How does that work? Like, how does that help you, and how does it affect you?
So what I found is a lot of people that come to me, if you come to me and say you just want to get a car in your business name, then my first question is for what?
Yeah.
Because what do you want to use? Oh, I just want to get a Mercedes. I want to get a Maybach. I want to get all right. One thing is this right here. Business credit is utilized. It's like a hustle. It's like a game. It's like what you do is you use it to make money, pay it back, flip. You're flipping it basically.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get a car in your business name, which is easy to do, use it for Turo. Rent it out for Uber. Use it for something that's going to make you money. Don't just get a car in your business name and then say, oh, well, now I'm riding around in a Mercedes in my business name. For what?
Yeah.
You know, people ask me all the
What you
time.
get it for?
Yeah, because people look at me and they're like, well, why haven't you gotten a car? I don't need a car. I got a new car. I don't need a car in my business name for that reason. So my thing is to always make it make money for you. Like if you're a business owner, make it make money for you. If you're going to be utilized, you still can use it on the weekends
you can
or whatever.
drive it, but tour it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
tour it out. Yep.
And so okay. So now housing. We're coming to housing now, and real quick before we go to housing.
Okay.
So now, what am I using my regular credit name for?
So your regular credit is for when you want to purchase a home. Like if you want to purchase your family home or if you want to purchase multiple homes for your family. And then you can still save it for when you want to get like, if you want to buy an apartment complex.
Okay.
They're going to want you to personally guarantee it. So you need to make sure your personal credit is good too. So you utilize that for things that you really need. Like I bought a house a couple of years ago. When I opened my business, I was like, I'm not using my...
That mother fine. That house is...
Thank you.
And I'm going to let you keep going, but I was so... One thing I'm always proud of is the people that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And when I seen you with that big house, I didn't hate like most people. I didn't. I was like, it made me excited.
Yeah.
And I think you're really using your platform to encourage people other than stun on them. You know what I'm saying? So... that's what you use your regular credit for, houses.
Right. Yeah, I used it for my house. I used it for, I had credit cards and things like that. So once I got my house, of course, I used it for my personal car because I knew I wanted a car that was going to be a sports car. So I knew I don't need business credit for that. I can use my personal credit. For that. But when it comes to things for my business, like I'm redoing the floors at my spa. So which means I don't want to use my personal credit for that. Because I want to be able to slow pay it. I don't want to have to pay, $15,000 and just drop it. I can just put it on my business credit side and pay the minimums, and it won't affect my personal credit.
That's so. See, we really need. Like I said, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. He was like, "Well, I can't get no loans for my business and stuff." And I'm like, "Call Cassie," because everybody really feel like it's the skin color or the bank they dealing with, and so
it's not.
That's what I'm trying to get it out there. Let these people know. It ain't that.
It's not that. And that's the thing too. I want, I'm going to speak like this. Our people, we have to invest in ourselves.
Most definitely.
I want more of our people because I have some people out here that have reached out to me that are like, they're doing trucking. I know y'all making bank.
Yeah.
Invest that little money because it's a tax write-off anyway. So at the end of the year, you're going to be able to write it off because that's a service that you receive. So utilize that money to invest. Now you invest in $3,500. My program is $3,500 for 6 months.
Yeah.
You invest that. And then by the end of the program, you're going to have 10, 20 times that, so it's like, it's an investment at the beginning, but I feel like a lot of people are just afraid to do that investment at the beginning. It's just a fear that sometimes people have. I'm not going to say we, because I invest. I have to invest in my business.
We ain't saying we
saying
no more.
Them.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
Them.
And so, yeah. And so I want to talk about your body sculpt.
Okay.
And can you explain that business, what you do real quick?
So first of all, I'm the owner of Serenity Sweat Sculpting Studio. We are the first and only spa in Clarksville of its magnitude. We will have a second location coming later this year or the first of the year. So with the sculpting studio, it's called Serenity Sweat Sculpting Studio. We do body sculpting, we do sweat therapy. And like I said, we are the only spa that offers these services in Clarksville. What I did was when it was COVID when I opened, so I wanted to provide a safe space for everyone. I wanted to provide a total disconnect from the day. Yes. So it's the hustle and bustle. We always go. We came out of COVID and we were like, back like normal.
Let's go.
No mask. We out here. We just like, it wasn't just a pandemic yesterday. So we out here. So I wanted to provide that space. And with the sweating, that's my main thing. That allows you to detox. So like how we touching all these people, we're hugging and all the germs that went on during COVID. Now you can come and detox with me. And then the body sculpting, I'm getting these ladies all the way together in Clarksville. Y'all better come and see me. Quit playing.
And you know, a lot of us, we see it and we want to know that it really works. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, y'all.
Like, I mean, we can show some old pictures. You know what I'm saying? And
Don't show the old pictures. Don't show the old pictures.
Yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah.
And so, what gives you the strength to actually put all? You single?
Yeah, I'm single.
Single, and we're not talking about relationships today, but as a single mom,
right?
What gives you the strength to actually run all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the mindset on I have to do this?
My mindset is I'm working hard now so I can relax later.
Okay.
You know, so what I'm doing now is the first part is being able to structure my kids. So I want my children, even though they're grown, to be able to be self-sufficient. So like my son works at the spa part-time. My daughter works at the spa part-time. So it's like if I need to go do something, then I can utilize them to be able to do those things. You know, my oldest son, he comes down there. So it's almost like I want them to be able to handle things that I can't handle.
Yeah.
So my kids are my why, and I always say that. My kids are the reason that I get up every day and I turn that key to my spa, because if anything happens to me, they have something left for them. So that's my ultimate goal, was for them. And then what gives me, and I am single right now, and I will say it's by choice.
Most definitely. I was just saying you do everything by yourself. That's the reason I brought that up.
No. I said that for a reason, though, because I felt like God needed me to be single during this time.
Okay.
Because a lot of the things that I've been doing, if I were in a relationship, I feel like it would have been a distraction. So I needed to be able to focus on my business, the business credit, this book, the franchise. You know how y'all men are. Y'all men be like, you ain't got time for me, and
And so if a man is coming in with all you got going on, because you have a lot going on,
right?
What's his position on what he need to do?
We're going to get some money together. That's going to be his position. When you coming in, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I want to get money with my man. What I have going on now is like my business stuff. So I want him to have his own things going on. And then we do stuff together, because I have so many ideas in my head. And it's like, only thing I'm missing is my partner. Yeah, but I know it has to be a specific type of person. You know what I'm saying? It has to be. You have to have the entrepreneur mindset. You have to understand, I can't be laid up under you every day because I got clients, you know, or something like that. But I'm going to make time because I am an entrepreneur. So we can take off for weeks at a time if we needed to. But it's just, I want him to be able to understand that, just be understanding. And since I've been single, I understand me too, and how I need to be able to please my man and be in my place. So, yeah.
And I want to get into taxes in just a second, and how, but I want to ask, we're gonna go get into taxes right now.
Okay.
So, if we're going on trips and eating, and you know, we've always heard save all your receipts. How's you writing all that stuff off? Like, what receipts do you actually save?
So for me, I really don't have to save receipts because I have a bomb bookkeeper and accountant. So I just use certain credit cards, and those credit cards automatically go to QuickBooks. Those QuickBook reports she already have. So every month I get a profit and loss, and she just every month she'll send me a profit and loss of like my transactions. So at the end of the year, she already has everything tracked. You can keep your receipts if you want to, but now we're in a digital age. So which means that if you're using the same card, it automatically categorizes. So all the trips I take, because I'm going to talk business, as long as you talk business at some point at a dinner or on a trip, that is categorized as business. Okay,
but
as long as you talk
really
business,
are doing business, because we're talking business.
Because I'm always talking business. So if you take me to lunch, we're gonna talk about business at some point, because you're really just trying to get some information. No, I'm just playing.
Or you might be trying to get with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so,
but keep all receipts. Keep all receipts. If you're a receipt keeper, just keep them all.
And so if I'm going through your program, and say for instance, my trucking company is making 250 a year.
Okay.
Not that that's what I'm profiting, but it's making two. I might profit 100 or something like that.
Okay.
Like, and if I'm going through your program, what kind of loan can I desire after that 6 months? Like,
After the
and not just giving a broad number, but what?
It's really I mean, like, it's unlimited really at that point, because if you're bringing in some loans you can get, there's some loans you can get are revenue based, but really they don't have to be revenue based. If you got the business credit and you got the personal credit, that's all that matters. You get a good 680, 700 credit score and some bomb business credit scores or a solid profile. You can get 100,000. You want to buy a new truck? You can
Yeah.
go. You can just walk on the lot and get stuff because you have both of those. A lot of people either have one or the other. You got business credit but no personal, or you got personal and no business.
Yeah.
When you go to the dealership, they're like, "Well, you don't have both.
Yeah.
So guess what? We can't even finance that because under what you already have. Because a lot of times they look at like your debt to income on the personal side. So they're like, you already got too much debt out here. We're not going to give you anything else. But if you have both, it's unlimited as to what you can get.
What's considered debt? Because I know a lot of times they say student loans and all that's not considered debt. What's considered debt that they're looking at once you're trying to
that's
get these loans?
Student loans debt.
Okay.
Student loans debt.
They try to-
Everything debt. Like
Everything debt.
when you go before, like when you're trying to buy a house, for instance, when I bought my house, I had 81,000 in student loans. Okay.
Yeah.
They looked at the 81,000 and I was like, so it's like, oh, we'll approve you for 180,000. I was like, I
You
make
can't get
all
nothing.
this money. What I'm gonna get with that?
Your house ain't nothing nowhere near that. It's close to $500 million.
But what
Yeah.
I ended up doing, and people don't know this, so I'm gonna give y'all this little tidbit. So if you're trying to purchase a home and you have student loans, you have to bring those student loans. If they're in deferment, you have to bring them out of deferment and put them in repayment. Sign up for an income-based repayment plan. It'll probably be like $100 a month. Bring them out of deferment into the repayment plan because that's what they're going to go by.
Yeah.
So instead of going by 81,000, they started going by $100. So the next lender approved me for 450,000 just with that one change.
See, that's
One change
just that one change took
And
you
nobody
from
told-
180.
to 450. And nobody told me that because they count your full student loans as debt when you're trying to buy a home.
Wow.
So you have to bring it out of deferment and into repayment so they can see that you're making payments on it. That one was free, y'all.
That one was so free. That
Yeah.
was a good free one
That was a free
because
one.
it took you from here to there.
It was the deciding factor in me purchasing a home. 2 years ago, you can find a home for 180,000, a decent home for 180,000 anyway. So, yeah.
And so, okay, so now that you've got your home
Mhm.
and that you want another home
Mhm.
and you want to keep this home,
Mhm.
how does that work? If I say I want to keep this home and I'm trying to get another 480 to get another home.
Mhm. So shout out to Big God, first of all.
Okay,
So
yeah.
shout out to him.
To the big guy.
To Big God.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
tell you. So if you want to get a second home, a lot of times you can utilize the equity that you have in your current home.
Okay.
You can utilize that. And if your income is good enough, you can qualify, for that additional money. So for me, I only used 300. So I still had 150,000 I could have used for something else. So a lot of times you just utilize that equity.
Oh, wow.
But my game plan is to eventually get land, and then I'll put my house on Airbnb. So I'll
wow.
just or rent it out, and then I have land to be able to build a new home.
Okay.
So that's the game plan.
So if you're buying land and you got this big old plan, I'm gonna put a whole apartment complex.
Yeah.
How do you go in and get that big loan to build that?
So that's the point of doing the business credit too. So when you're going to do property and land, it's good to have 5 years, but they're going to look at tax returns. They're going to look at a lot of different things. So this is another thing. So this is another freebie. For us as business owners, a lot of times we don't like paying taxes. So when
Facts.
income tax time roll around, we want a return.
Yeah.
If you are planning on purchasing something, whether it's a house, a car, whatever, something major, please do not write everything off. You need to show income because when you write everything off, it's almost like either you didn't make money or you didn't make enough money. So don't write everything off, but you have to plan these things out. So before I bought my house, that's what I did. So I did not write off everything the year before because it was COVID. I was off for 3 months. So my income was down a little bit. So I was like, look, don't write everything off because you have the choice to write off everything or not.
Yeah.
So just don't write everything off. But we want to return and we don't want to pay back, but you're sacrificing. So pay back for 2 or 3 years just so banks can see that you're making money. Yeah.
And I want to go back. This is the one I want to go back to. I want to go back to the grants, and
Yeah.
I want to talk about the grants.
Mm-hmm.
How are we getting enough grant money to if I want to buy a truck? If I'm in trucking and I know this truck costs $59,000, how can I get that money so I don't have to pay it back?
Right. So when it comes to grants, one thing I feel like with grants, you have to be doing something that's meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing trucking, okay, another tidbit. If you're doing trucking, another freebie.
No freebie.
Another freebie.
Yeah.
So in any business though, if you're doing trucking or if we'll say you're breeding dogs, make it meaningful. Have a portion of your company that does something meaningful, whether you're mentoring young boys in high school about trucking, if you're breeding dogs, whether you're, taking in stray dogs or you know what I'm saying? You have where you can go give vaccines for dogs or something, because it has to make sense for people. They're going to look at you. Okay, you're a truck driver. Pass. Oh, you're breeding dogs. Pass. What are you doing that's making a difference in the world?
Oh, wow.
So you have to think of things like that. So it's always good to think of something else to put under the umbrella of what you're already doing. So when you submit for these grants, now you can say, oh, well, this is what I'm doing to give back, XYZ to help give back. I'm mentoring, I'm training, I'm doing these things because people want to know that you're doing something that's meaningful.
So what about, not grants, but what about nonprofits? So now we move into the nonprofit lane to where like you done got your business credit, you got your regular credit. Now nonprofit.
Yeah, nonprofits gonna get money anyway because they're a nonprofit. It's I feel like it's easier for nonprofits to get grants than just a normal business because of course they're already doing something that's giving back to the community or something that's meaningful. So their issue with grants are not going to be our issue with grants because we have profit businesses or for-profit businesses.
So how long it take? Like if I do get $100,000 loan, how am I paying that back? Am I paying it back monthly or yearly, or how am I paying that back?
The goal is to pay it back monthly.
Okay.
The goal is to pay it back monthly. They do have some high interest loans. So that's another thing I feel like that we as business owners get caught up in because they'll send you something and say, oh, we can give you $100,000. They're going to give you $100,000, but they want you to pay back $25,000 on the $100,000. And we like, oh, okay, yeah, let me sign me up. But not reading the fine print in there that you're paying $25,000 back in interest. And it's, you can't pay it back early, it's that set amount because that's how they get you. But when you have your business credit set up and your personal credit set up, the goal is to get like SBA loans where you have a 3% interest rate and you pay it over 5 years. So you have time to build up. You have time to get, pay that loan off, get another one, because if you making the money, you can pay it back early.
See, and that's like you got these cash advance loans, you know what I'm saying? Like, I look at them like small loans. Like, so when you're getting those big loans, are they still coming from these small loan companies?
Oh, no. You can get the big loans from regular banks. So you can go to big banks for these. And like I said, SBA. So when you do the SBA loans, a lot of times they have their own banks that are connected with the SBA loans. So what you'll do is go to the SBA.gov website. Once you go to the website, it'll connect you. You just fill out a small form. It'll connect you with the banks in your area. And then you just go through that bank for your loan.
And not that you, like I said, but even with the banks, okay, if I've been dealing with this bank for 2 years, and say for instance, I done had 500,000 run through these banks, but I don't got nothing but 25,000 in there. Am I still eligible for these big loans?
Oh yeah.
Because I got a lot of money coming through. Or what if every time money's coming in and I'm spending it right back out, am I still eligible?
So it's not really necessarily based on that. If you go through the banks, they give you what's called a banking score. So you want to keep at least 5,000 to 10,000 in your account every single day.
Okay.
Every single day. So that's going to get your banking score there, your business banking score there. But when it comes to your loans and stuff, it doesn't matter how much money you're running through. They just want to see that you have the revenue going in most of the times. If you have the revenue going in, they're going to give you the money as long as you have those scores, though. You have to have those scores. Your business and your personal credit score has to be on par. So yeah. Yeah, so it don't matter what's going through. Some people don't even have money really going through their accounts, but they have the business credit scores and the personal because they're getting loans that don't require a look at your bank account.
And so, but a lot of us, we always deal with our personal credit. So when you do come in on business credit, like where are you coming in at with the business credit? Like, is your credit at 0, or do they start it off at
Yeah.
350? They start at 0.
It starts out at nothing.
It
Like
started
you have
cheap.
nothing. Like literally you have nothing. When you start out the business credit process, you have nothing. That's how it works. It's like when you go in there and check your scores, it'll be 0.
Yeah.
It'll be 0, 0,
You got
0.
0 business
Yeah.
credit. Yeah.
You know, like your personal credit, I think they start you at 500 or 400 or something, I think.
Yeah, it's about.
No, you're going to be a 0, a big 0. And a lot of things too, I think the misconception is people think if you go out here, you've been with your bank 2 years, you say, okay, I want to get a business credit card. They give you a business credit card that has like a $500 limit in it. And people will think, oh, I have business credit. That's not business
That's
credit.
not business. That's
That's just you having a business credit
they
card.
just let you borrow $500, really.
And it's they pulled your personal score. They pulled your personal credit to give it to you. So that's the thing. People think, oh, I can get a credit card from my bank, so that means I have business credit. No, you don't, baby.
And that's what I was saying. So when your personal credit is 450, 500, you're not able to get a.
You're not. That's why you have to start on your business credit. So if your personal credit is low, I would have started on my business credit a long time ago.
You wouldn't even. So you wouldn't even cared about your personal credit.
No, I wasn't even worried about it because once you get your business credit scores up to par, like before, I think I had got all kind of accounts, and then now they started. Once you get to tier 3, so business credit is 3 different tiers. Once you get to tier 3, that's going to be when you're wanting to get funding. That's when they start pulling your personal credit. I honestly have my clients to block and lock their personal credit until we get to that tier because I'm like, I don't want nobody to even attempt to. If they trying to pull your personal credit, we don't need them. So,
because it's already bad.
Yeah, we don't want no more hits. You don't want the inquiries on there because, of course, that's going to bring your score down even more too. So that's the whole game plan. If you're working with me, lock it. If I'm working on your credit, do not be applying for all these different cards and accounts because that's going to keep pulling your score down.
What about the people that's scared to like come to you and say, hey, my credit is 450? Like, and what about those people, like, some encouragement for them? Because I've had a friend that she had a friend that was doing credit, and she called me. She was like, Pete, can you know about? Because she didn't want her friend to know what her credit was. Like, how do you make them comfortable just to come and like
to be comfortable? So this is how I'm gonna make y'all comfortable. My score was like a 510 at one point. At one point it was because credit wasn't like a major concern for me. Like we live in a generation where our parents use cash for everything. They never taught us about credit and the importance of credit. So for me, I got credit cards. I did all these things when I was young. And what I did was I utilized it, but I abused it because I didn't know any better. So, which meant that I had to like learn more. The more I educated myself, the more I knew. So my score was like 510 and I had to get it up. When I bought my house, I actually had hired somebody to fix my credit. Well, they did fix my credit, but guess what? 2 months down the road, everything came back. And I'm like, wait.
I thought you fixed my credit.
I thought you fixed it. Like, what happened? So I had to start learning how to do it myself, how to send the letters myself, how to negotiate with these creditors in order to get my credit together. So don't be discouraged because I promise you, there's always someone who has a lower score than you or in a worse situation. We all go through things. There's nobody who has a perfect score who had a perfect score their entire life. So it's all a learning lesson. And that's what you just think if you don't tell somebody or get help, it's going to always be there.
Yeah.
So you got to start somewhere. And guess what? I'm not judgmental at all because, I came from, I told you, I
know where she came from. I know where she came from.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not judgmental at all.
And so if I'm going through bankruptcy and I'm trying to get my credit and my business credit back right, how am I going about that?
So with the bankruptcy, what happens with the bankruptcy more so is you're just rebuilding the credit, depending on which bankruptcy that you went through. So it's more of a rebuilding phase. I went through bankruptcy. I think
like what's the difference between a couple of bankruptcies? So people don't really know. A lot of people scared to file because they everybody always say, well, when you file, you can't get a house and you can't get this, you can't get that.
Well, it stays on your credit for I think 10 years. I think the bankruptcy stays on your credit report for 10 years and then it just falls off. So if you have anything,
is that good or bad? Once if you're going in trying to get your business on bankruptcy,
if you have a bankruptcy on there, it's always going to be looked at negatively. I'm gonna tell you that it's gonna be looked at negatively, but it's the rebuilding phase of that's gonna make or break. So when you're going through the rebuilding phase, getting accounts and paying yourself on time, getting these accounts and making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Because I see people go through bankruptcy several times. Instead of going through bankruptcy, okay, boom, I went through a bankruptcy. Now I have these new accounts and I'm paying them on time. That's the point. It's a reset. It's supposed to be, if they're wiping your stuff completely clean, you start fresh. Don't get back into the same debt that you were just in.
Yeah. Right.
And then I see people do bankruptcies and they have $10,000 worth of debt. So now you have something on your credit report that's going to be on there for 10 years because of $10,000.
Oh, and that ain't really much or
No,
nothing.
no. At least have, some big debt if you're going to do a
If you're
bankruptcy.
gonna do bankruptcy,
Yeah.
yeah. And so now going into when you going in your building, you get in your building, and say for instance, it costs you, they gave you a loan of 75,000, and it costs you 60,000 to get everything going. Do you think that you need more of a cushion than like, they gave you 75,000, it cost you 60, you got $15,000. Do you think you need more than a cushion, more than $15,000 to keep your business established and running? How much money do you need to just have? Because you might go in and stuff might not work out in that first year.
Right. And it didn't for me. That's the thing. So I feel like it's all about how much you're willing to sacrifice, and
Okay.
it's all about how well you hustle. Because for me, my first year, I remember there were months I only had one client. But I still had to pay my lease, lights, water, gas, all that stuff in my building and my spa, I still had to pay. So which meant that I did other things that I need to do. If I got a DoorDash, if I got to go do some Instacart, whatever I got to do to make sure that the lights are on in my business, even if I had one client. But fast forward, that was year one. I opened in June of 2021. So those 6 months, I probably made, I don't know, not much, because of course I had just opened. I'm a new business. I wasn't really advertising. And then I was like, okay, was I discouraged? Yes, I was discouraged, because I'm like, I started this business. I done quit my job. I done started this business. I'm like, wait, it's not even going the way I feel like it should be.
Yeah.
But I sacrificed and I kept going and I kept pushing. Now, when you hitting 20K months, it's like, oh, okay, my account, like, oh, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you did 20 this year.
Compared to making, 20K in 6 months, going from 20K in 6 months to 20K a month, it's like, it's just that holding steadfast, planting those seeds and waiting for them to grow. So that's kind of what it has to be. You have to be dedicated.
How important is the account when you start business?
Oh, it's very important. My account,
what's them type of people, how many people you need like that around you when you start your business, like accounting? What type of team do you need around?
So for me, I feel like you need definitely a bookkeeper and an accountant.
Okay.
Somebody to help you with marketing and, advertising, which I didn't have that. So I didn't have anybody I was doing it all. I wore all the hats except for accounting, because I don't play about my money. So I needed somebody else to handle the money situation. And she made it so easy, because when you're in business, that's one thing you don't want to have to worry about.
Yeah.
You don't want to worry about if you're, writing off the right stuff, if you got the right receipts, like you said, if you're doing the right thing. She came in and did everything. Oh my God, it's the best money to invest.
What's her name?
Talitha. Her name is Talitha. We're going to tag her. Yes. That's my girl.
How many people are you helping right now? Like your whole journey, how many people you think you actually help that y'all are still in contact?
So right now, currently, I have about 10 business credit clients that I'm currently working on now. Some of them are towards the end of their program. Some of them are just now starting. I would say overall, probably about 50 people in the last 2 years.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
and how's those relationships? Are you full contact with Kate? They can call you anytime, or do you mix business with pleasure sometime, and not pleasure as in like relationships, but like go out and just have a good time? Is that?
Yes, I still have clients that call me and they're like, we need to do lunch, or we need, I need to see you when I'm in the city, because of course I have clients all over. So if I'm in the city, I need to see you. We may just go have drinks. We may go to lunch. We may just hang out. I believe in that and being part of a team, so these are my team. And one thing about my team is, if I see a way for us to eat, they're going to get it before anybody else. Yeah. If I get great information, guess who's going to get it first? Them. Before the public. Because most I'm definitely. Like, my people going to get it first, because these are people who are invested in themselves. They already did their part, so now it's time for me to do my part. So even if they're not current clients, we still communicate and we still talk. Yeah. Some people I don't talk to quite as much, because they probably, I don't know, living their best life. Yeah. But I'm always available. I still have the same number from 99, so people are always calling.
Do you ever go through with like people like not doing the right thing and then trying to blame you for not?
Not blaming me. People don't do the right thing, though. I've had plenty of people not do the right thing. So when I first started the program, that's what it was. I would have them to do everything. I would just tell them what to do, when to do it. And they'll be like, oh, I didn't do it. And I'm like, how do you not do it?
It ain't going to work.
It's not going to work. So, but I haven't had anybody to blame me because I'm a word, I'm a woman of my word. So normally if I mess up, I'm woman enough to say I messed up.
Yeah,
So
facts. So that's I love that you can stay in contact with these people because that's the one thing I always say. Like, I'm a I own type
yeah,
of person. Like,
yeah.
you could talk to me all day, and I know you got clients all over the world. So how do you deal with the clients that you have to just deal with strictly online?
It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy because of course we can communicate FaceTime. We can communicate through Facebook if we needed to. We can just talk on the phone. A lot of times I just text and be like, hey, I hadn't heard from you. I talk to them every month. So my current clients, they get an update every month. And then most of the time I call them too. So if I don't call you, you're going to get an update. This is what your business credit scores are. This is what I'm doing for you this month.
Hmm.
Just so they can stay in the loop. I'm always going to be a constant communicator because that's me. I want you to communicate with me. So I do the same thing with my clients. So
You,
that, yeah, we always communicate.
I respect about you because you just I ain't never saw you with no mess and just you always been positive and you always been straightforward and now you just on another level to where like I'm just enjoying your journey.
Yeah.
So how is the shop? Like when you when we come in your shop,
Yeah.
are we kicking it for a minute and having a good time? Do we got wine in there? You know what I'm
So when you
saying?
come in, let me tell y'all. First of all, when y'all check it out, check out Serenity Sweat Sculpting because
Facts.
we got all 5-star reviews. It's an experience. So when clients come in, they're like, "Oh, it smells good in here," and then they're like, "Oh, it's just so peaceful in here. Oh, I had a great experience, and it warms my heart because it doesn't feel like I'm working. When I go to the spa, it's not work for me because it's just
Something you love to
enjoyable.
do.
It's
Yeah.
what I love to do, and then to be able to do the body sculpting part. So we have women who come in and their confidence levels are down. And then when I get through with them, they coming in like, hey, Cassie, I'm here, and you can tell the difference in just the way they feel about themselves. That's what gives me joy is being able to do that. So when you come in, if I'm working, it's strictly work mode.
Yeah.
But if
Facts.
you come in after hours, we may have a little bottle of wine in the back. We may sit and chill, and just talk. But most of the time, it's more like I'm trying to cater to you. So I'm here for you to help you to become the best version of you. So whatever you need from me is what I'm gonna do.
And just with you being the person you are, I know how sweet and nice you are. How do you separate your business from family? And because you got your kids working
Yeah.
for you, and how do you separate that to like they know like I'm about business
Yeah.
first? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
And I think they know already because of the increase in clientele that we have. When we first started, the clientele wasn't there. So it was more, they could be on their phones, they could be on the computer playing games. And now it's like when clients leave, they got to turn the rooms.
Yeah.
They got to sanitize, they got to disinfect. Oh, we got to go get these towels, we got to wash, we got to, because everything
But
is done.
how did you get to that point where they knew that you was about your business? Because everybody don't take it
I
serious.
had to tell them, I'm like, look, okay, I need you to do this because I pay them, so
Yeah.
it's not like they just come
Working
and
for free.
work for
Yeah.
free. So you getting paid. So I'm like, no, you need to go. So now they're at a point where they're like, okay, I got to get this done. So she don't even have to ask me because they don't like, my kids do not like to hear my mouth.
They've been knowing this
Since they was little.
Yeah.
So now that it's picking up and it's more, more clients, they're on top of it. Like before we came to Nashville today, we had some clients and I was up there checking the clients out. She done disinfected the room, cleaned the rooms, and you know what I'm saying, put the towels down. She's done everything that needed to be done. Lights off, beds off, everything was done. Like mom done,
That's what's up.
so I think it just comes with them knowing that it's serious. At the beginning they probably thought it was just,
Yeah. It's just
mama
mama
doing
just doing
something else.
something.
She
Yeah.
doing something else. So that's probably how they thought at the beginning. But then once they see that it's a serious business, now they take it seriously too.
And how does it make you feel like with you coming so long way, like your people? I know your people just always just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
cause I wouldn't have thought it would have been you. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know.
And not just on no, but
Yeah.
when I was talking, I was like, you don't know her like I know her. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Right.
not that putting you down in any type of way, but just everything you're
Yeah.
doing now, it's just like I didn't see it, and especially dealing with this credit thing.
Yeah.
Like you are helping our people, and I know you're gonna help a lot of people. So how does it feel just to be that person, just to be able to stretch out like that?
It feels good. It feels really good. You know what? Like I said, big God. has been
Most
amazing.
definitely.
Has been amazing for me. I feel like that in this journey and to be able to relate, because I can relate to so many young females.
Most definitely.
I've been through it all, domestic violence, I'm doing all of the, like I said, I've been homeless before. It's just my life and my history, the things I've come from. I can relate to so many other young females that are going through things now. And I just like to be that motivation for them to understand that it can happen.
Yeah.
Like, it can happen. Just keep planting those seeds, because I didn't see this either. It was times I'm like, I don't even know. My kids went without Christmas. I
Wow.
mean, it was things that, we had to sacrifice. And I was like, now to be able to say, they don't even need enough for Christmas. They got everything. I don't even really give them Christmas now because they've gotten everything that they really need. So
Man.
it's just, I just want to be able to be that person who can be there for those women to relate to. The men can relate to too, but for me, I'm passionate about the women
Most
because
definitely.
I'm
You
a
should be.
woman.
You should be.
So just to be able to say, those thuggish relationships, those didn't know what you was doing, whether you was coming or going. I had to hustle. I done sold. I done did this. I done did that. But to be able to be where I am now is definitely a blessing. It's definitely a
I
blessing.
think it's more of a big blessing that you're able to bring your kids in.
Yeah.
And are they respecting your position? Like, you know what I'm saying? Are they,
Hey, they know who the CEO is. They know who the boss is. But they're their own bosses in their own ways. Like, one thing I did was in 2020, that was their Christmas gift. I gifted my kids LLCs.
Wow.
So all three of my kids have their own businesses as well. So it's giving something to them that they'll be able to utilize, whether they utilize it now or when they just need some money. Like my daughter did my hoodie for me, so
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
if you need some money, then you will push your business because they work, but then of course they have their own businesses to be able to have their income that they want, where they can generate their income.
So where did it come from? And this is a serious question, that you was able to push them and we didn't have that. Like,
Right. I feel like that I just wanted to be the one to break those generational curses.
oh wow. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, for me, and not only just on my side of the family, for their fathers as well, because like on their father's side, I don't know any business owners. I don't know anybody that's in the position that we're in now.
Definitely.
So I wanted to make sure that they were set up differently. I wanted them to, I never struggled growing up. My parents are still married today.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, but it's almost
How
like,
do they feel? Like how the parents, like, I
they're
mean,
so proud.
just seeing you, like, you know what I mean? And again, shout out to my boy Big Head Cabin. I miss him
That's my
so much, you
baby.
know what I'm saying? And
Yeah, shout out to
I
my
know that
baby.
was a hard,
Yeah.
but I'm telling you, I know he's pushing
Yeah.
that line, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So how are the parents feeling with you, this big growth? Like, this is a big deal. Like, I know you don't get your flowers like you should. Not that you don't get them, but
Right.
if you're a Last Subscribe show, we giving them to you.
Thank
so how are the
you.
parents, like, with them not having nothing where you are?
Right.
What's they like?
My parents are very proud. My parents are very proud. I'm able to, I'm in a position where I'm able to do a lot more for them
That's
than
real.
I would have ever thought that I would be able to. If my mom says she wants something, I'm trying to find it.
What's
If
up?
my dad say, okay, I need this done or that done, I'm trying to get it done, because of course I feel like without them, it wouldn't be me.
Never.
I'm a combination of them. My hustle from my daddy, my personality from my mom. So it's like they put the right mix together to make me. So they're proud, and I'm definitely grateful. I told them I'm gonna put y'all in a bigger house pretty soon, a big
real
house.
soon. Yeah, real soon.
Yeah,
Bigger than yours.
Yeah. They can have mine. Look, I might get them now.
Yeah,
No,
that's what I'm gonna say. You might just give them yours. You know what I'm saying?
but that's what that's the goal. My goal is to make sure that the people around me are are happy and are complete and satisfied, and I can do that. Makes me happy. It's like, me, I'm good. Like, I don't have to, I mean,
You out here on trips and at beaches all the time, and you out here good, you know what I'm saying? So,
I'm living.
And this is the thing, I always say this. Some people are living and some people are living happy.
Yeah.
We can really see you living happy, and it don't got
Yes.
nothing to do with no money.
Yeah.
And I think it got a lot to do because you able to help people now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely that, because I want to be able to help people, as much as I can. Even with my spa, I made sure my prices were reasonable. I was like, I'm a single mom. I wanted everybody to be able to afford it. People come in and they're like, why are your prices so cheap and you get these results? And I'm like, it's not cheap, it's affordable, because I wanted it to be affordable. And that's the thing. I've always loved giving back, and I've always loved helping people. And that's why I feel like that what I do, this is like my ministry, business credit. These are my ministries out to other people to be able to help them. So
outside of the body sculpting.
outside of the body sculpting.
Because the one thing I know, when them women be coming up out of there, they, you know what I'm saying?
They be like,
different.
Yeah.
And
They
so,
different. A whole new
man,
attitude. Yeah. It's amazing though. I mean, just to see, like the transformation. I have some clients that have been coming for 6 months. Like they keep renewing their subscription. They're like, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. It's like a family though.
when they start body sculpting,
Mhm.
do they need to keep continuously coming back, or do they work it off and still work out? Because you still got to work out, right?
Well, you're supposed to work out, but I didn't work out for me. So I didn't work out.
Cause you
But you
still getting it. I be seeing you
Yeah,
on that
yeah, yeah,
table. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't be looking, but I be looking.
Right. So yeah, so
You know what I'm
you're
saying?
supposed to work out to help with the body sculpting. I don't work out, which is don't follow me. Don't follow me. Work out with your body sculpting. Okay. I did sign up for a gym though yesterday.
And you gonna get in there too.
I'm going.
You know what I'm saying? So
I'm
yeah.
going.
So man, look, I want to thank my girl for coming. Like I said,
Oh.
y'all better go get this book. That's what you better do. And y'all don't be trying to my girl all cute. Don't be looking at her cuteness. Get this book and learn really about credit, because in my community we know nothing about it. A lot of
Right.
us didn't have dads.
Right.
I love it that your mom and dad is still together, because a lot of us didn't have that. So
Right.
man, she's not on my show because just to do a show. I could have did a show with anybody. She's on my show for a reason.
Right.
And give them where to find you at.
Yes, of course. So again, I'm Cassie Norris. Well, Cassandra Norris.
That's what I'm saying. Cassandra.
I know. My daughter's like, your name is not Cassie.
Yeah.
So it is.
And the daughter's here too, right there.
Right.
The daughter's here.
She's like, your name is not Cassie. So yes, Cassandra Norris, but on Facebook is Cassie Norris. You can find me on on all social media platforms under Trap Mom Cassie. That's TRAPPMOMCASSIE on all platforms. Follow me for good tips. You can reach me on the web, www.trapmomcassie.com. Get the book on there. You can schedule a consultation on there. You can just do whatever you want to do on there, really. You can get your Trap Mom hoodie on there.
All that.
Everything is available there, okay?
And then and it's going to a good cause.
Yeah.
It's going to somebody that's really actually helping people. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's why we're not afraid to spend with you, not support you and get you out there, because it's going to a good cause. And thank you for coming. What that sign right there?
It was a hard
again.
sign.
It's just a little.
Thank y'all.
If you're alive, subscribe. I told y'all, we not going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Y'all gonna get tired of us. We not going nowhere. We're one of the fastest growing podcasts out here, not just in Nashville, all around the world. And we here to stay. If you're alive, subscribe.
Yeah, boy.